When I was little, I had a dream. I saw many kids buried in the ground, their tiny hands exposed, like newly growing potatoes. And then I woke up. I started to throw up balloons. Starting here, it is called the skull, the collar, bone, the ribs, the ulna, the radius, and the rainbow lollipop I hide in my body.
Do you know Stonehenge? I believe it's made of tombstones, though they're just a lot larger than ordinary ones. I really want to go there myself one day, just so I can listen to their desires.
If you look at the ground after the rain, you can often see a wet, long trail, like this one. At the end of the trail, there may be a snail slowly crawling forward. Yes, forward. The snail marks the direction for us. But what if we don't see any snails at either end? How are we going to distinguish the direction to the future from that to the past? Criterion. Well said, darling. To figure something out, you always need to make deductions based on facts and logical reasoning. What you see is not necessarily true, but what is logical is, because we haven't witnessed or experienced anything illogical so far. If something like that actually happens, it must be because we are too ignorant to understand it for the moment. This point was firmly believed by those researchers who worked in the house like canned sardines. It remained true to them until the first drop of rain rose. The sardines suddenly found that the knowledge they possessed couldn't support the point anymore. The can was opened, revealing a completely different thinking pattern to them. Whatever they used to mend the can, there was still a crevice left between the inside and the outside, and it could be ripped open again at any time. The chaos didn't last. If it really was the rain that swept away the snail and messed up time, then we should look at the silver lining. Does it mean we will find out the truth of time once the secret of the rain is revealed? There has never been a shortcut like this one, since time is only an intangible concept. So then, observation stations were built all over the globe. The staff learned how to collect and keep the valuable samples efficiently in no time. The little boxes they used to store the raindrops are still being upgraded even now. Order and silence were brought back to the labs. Every piece of gear was placed back on the right track. It was a grand feat, and no one could have accomplished it inside this huge, cumbersome machine except another machine. She took no sides and sought only predictable results. That's why she made a decision as soon as she read that report and its attachment on her desk. The former was about a delicate component which flapped like a butterfly in that huge machine. And the latter was a piece of paper full of circles and dots. Then she stored the information on her hard disk and destroyed the report. And the paper which claimed to have recorded the locations where the storm might happen, yes, the one with the butterfly-like drawings, was retained for data comparison. It seems she's satisfied with the result.
Where are we? Lost and found at the racquetball center? The orb showed copper pieces. We need to find something that seems to be locked, but is actually not. Aha! Found it! Nothing can stop the genius, Matilda.
The trip to Egypt didn't go smoothly. The ship was hit by a common storm at sea. We were lost in the fog after that, completely off course. Then something emerged from the water. Since the first storm, the Foundation has received frequent sightings of arcane creatures which should have been extinct in history. I had no idea what I was shooting at, even after I emptied the clip. And I didn't know what to do, so the arcanists brought us back on course. She named the precise longitude and latitude of our location, even without using the sextant in the spare cabin. I wonder how she did that. Perhaps the world did look different in her eyes. Then when I was about to step on a random plank on the ship, she suddenly dragged me back. I thought it was only an inappropriate joke. But the next second, the plank broke. I was stunned, and asked her how she saw that coming. She just answered me as if we were talking about the weather.
Because that plank is deformed like a rhombus.
I was confused. Where is the rhombus? She laughed.
The rhombus can't be seen with eyes. You shall close your eyes, hearken to the teaching of the Supreme Existence, and seize the moment of afflatus.
Of course, I didn't see anything. Nor did I understand what the moment of afflatus was. Perhaps it's just another privilege enjoyed by arcanists, just like their right to be lunatic. Nevertheless, she reached the correct conclusion in a completely wrong way. Is it really possible? Anyway, she saved my life. But that was not enough to settle the differences between us. she remained rejective to working with the Foundation, and I finally gave up on the attempt to persuade them. My mission on that trip was not to make contact with them. Besides, what we needed was builders of the Storm Observation System, not some liars who would only make things worse. As for the shelter they took from the storm, she wouldn't say a word, as if she were dealing with a spy who pried to find out the deepest secrets of the Arcanists. In the end, Hugh mediated between us. He gave me an address in Istanbul to which I could send the letters to contact them. After that, I spent more than half a year in the Egypt office. Things were even worse there than I expected. Some have gone missing after the storm. The people who were supposed to be in the Egypt office, according to the member list stored in the headquarters in 1985, were not there when I arrived. The situation could be caused by the limitations of the transmission of paper-based materials, or because the computer was not yet popularized to every corner of the globe at the time. One minor mistake of a copyist could develop into a huge difference. Besides that, the chaos inside Laplace was an even worse issue. I learned that someone published the paper Samplings of Global and Regional Chaotic Energy Route Changes in the name of Butterfly of Lorentz. Apparently they secretly used our sampling sites, yet their research direction and conclusion were radically different from Laplace's. The researchers equally divided into two schools, one sticking to the human technology they have focused on, and one changing their direction to Arcanum. At the time, it was still too early to decide which direction was right, without sufficient experimental data. But many already believed that if time continued to be reversed, human technology would only keep falling into decline, while Arcanum, which relies on personal ability, would rise again. It's true that Gnosis cannot be copied, verified by an independent third party, or comprehended through reasoning. Its nature decides that it cannot lay the foundation of science or be popularized to every ordinary person. It takes solid marble to build a castle, not slippery sand. Even so, what harm will it do to rely on Arcanum when the underlying logic of all things has become unreasonable? Before the disagreement was settled, the storm in 1987 was predicted. We were ordered to return to the headquarters 24 hours before its arrival. But the prediction was not accomplished by Laplace. A captive from Manus Vindictae names the precise date of that storm. Our enemies, those lunatic xenophobes, valuing only pure blood, made it further than we did. Yes, we built observation stations, we made countless deductions, we developed multiple simulation models. We made efforts, we sacrificed life, we did whatever we could. Yet the result was that we didn't find any other regions immune to the storm, except the headquarters and another one in North America. In the end, 95% of the branch members were reversed, 87.9% of the equipment was destroyed, and 100% of our predictions failed. In conclusion, our endeavor brought no achievements. As for the captive from Manus Vindictae, the delirium patient who claims that oracles flowed under his parietal bone, when we asked him how he learns the precise date of the storm, he burst into laughter.
Can't you hear it? Has God left you behind when he spread his grace?
Then, he smashed his own skull with a handcuff. Yes, there was no doubt. He was an incurable lunatic. But his insane nonsense was exactly the reason we survived the storm again. No matter how unreasonable or illogical it was, or how much a lie it sounded like. So we'd better believe we shouldn't go out in black today because the fish is swimming in the water. We'd better believe in the existence of the non-physical, everlasting, transcendent world where everyone's soul is a number. We better believe in the supreme existence, which caused the disorder of time by merely casting its shadow. That means the life of individuals means nothing more than rubbish, and the world is but an imperfect ruin, where only the chosen ones will pass the trial, where the rest will be eliminated by the rain. How am I supposed to do that? Finally, I made up my mind to write to her. I didn't expect her to answer my questions. All I wanted was to confirm if she had survived that storm. For the sake of our peaceful talk about the Rhombus. Yet what I heard from them was a simple announcement of her death, with only 2 words. She died. Then it burned and turned to ashes in a second. On the same day, the first and only timekeeper who just took office, the 12-year-old child, returned alone from the storm. She told us the time in the outside world at that point. And that was how I knew she was right.
It is right in front of you.
But if there is a God, why are you playing such a prank on us after we had suffered from the collapse of all the existing orders and the failure of all the great laws? If this is what she calls a glimpse of the supreme existence, the moment of afflatus, do you have to present it in such a cruel way? The last 2 digits in the number of the year after that storm were exactly her name and her number. 77.
Incroyable! Incroyable! C'est vrai! Quelqu'un a vraiment fait cette prophétie! Bertin and Sonetto will be thrilled to know what we found! Well done, Miss Sotheby! You performed as well as a formal investigator! We need to submit this report to your instructor immediately!
What are you doing in other people's rooms? This is my personal item. You have no rights to take it. Please leave immediately.
Personal item? This is a precious record that should have been submitted to the Foundation. According to Administration and Regulations for Dispatch Personnel, St. Pavlov Foundation Decree number 259, every member of the Foundation, when acting as a field investigator, is required to create a comprehensive investigation report of all their actions and promptly submit it.
And they are obliged to ensure the authenticity, objectivity, and impartiality of the report. No personal bias is allowed in the content. If you have read this report, miss, you should know that it's not even qualified to be filed.
But this is an emergency!
I can tell from your uniform, you are a student of SPDM, or... This is Laplace. Do you have your guardian's approval to leave the school, Miss Underage Student?
Approval? I don't need that. I am not a student. You are talking to the exceptionally promoted monitor assistant of SPDM. Here is my ID. Did you just ignore a formal administrator of the Foundation? This monitor assistant will report every every misbehavior of yours. Every little bit of them.
Miss Moisson, we found that report here. The great Miss Buanish and I discovered some important information. I came to you and Madame Z immediately after we read it. Miss Buanish, why are you confronting Mr. Chair?
I didn't expect to see the second half of that report here in your room, Adler.
Don't call me that, friend. Why not just call me Enigma? Just like everyone else. Relax. I know nicknames mean no harm. But I don't understand. How is a report filled with meaningless words of any concern to you, Madam Z?
It provides information about the Arcanist group Virgin is now dealing with. If possible, please give it to me.
Of course. How can I turn down a request from Constantine's chief of staff? Take it away. I hope you don't mind the mold on it.
Attention to your manners and do not bring disgrace to the computing center, Mr. Rude.
Ms. Buanish? Ms. Sotheby? You've done a great job. I'm sure what you have found would be of great help to Timekeeper. And I will report your active performance in this mission to SPDM as soon as possible, Miss Buanish. We need to further analyze the files you found. The first on the scene could provide more detailed information. Let's get out of here.
Contribution exceptionnelle! Oh là là, exceptionnel! Non, non! Calme-toi, Matilda. I didn't accomplish it alone. Assistant Sotheby also played a significant role. Hooray!
That is to say, Miss Burnish, we can start preparing the balloons and flowers for the twist ball.
Speaking of which, this monitor assistant still needs to think about it. By the way, just call me Matilda.
There will be no advance in human technology. You think so? Even thee, Madam Z, has given up on the study of theoretical physics and become a politician.
No, I've never thought of that.
I am astonished by the fact that you are interacting with others.
They broke in.
If it was a complaint that you were making, you know it is within your rights to submit an interdepartmental complaint within 7 days after the incident.
Don't bother. That file means nothing to me. I didn't file it because it is a report against the rules. Why bother to submit such a log full of personal feelings and emotional behaviors to our great, rigorous foundation?
Is that so? I am gratified to find that you still have some sense.
I too am gratified that you still have no idea that I was being sarcastic.
Oh, that was sarcasm.
Never mind. What do you want from me, Madam Lucy? You went all the way to this dusty, rundown place, so hurriedly that you even forgot to put on that pathetic mask. This is not because of some old files, I assume.
Certainly. I hope you can be the cryptographer of the Manus Vindictae's ritual. You are still the best.
You are asking me, a human, to decode the ritual of a pureblood arcanist group? I don't see how I'll be helpful to this project.
You cannot evaluate your own level of being of value, Adler.
Well, you evaluate our value. Test us in experiments you set. Prove the hypotheses by exhaustion, make mistakes, and start all over again. You repeat the process like a roaring locomotive that pulls the research center out of this chaotic disaster. You question not what is ahead of you, nor whether the path you've taken will be regular or easy. The only idea you planted into your little brain is to move forward, to improve.
Thank you for your compliment. Credit goes to everyone.
That was not even a... Ismirgal. Guess you agree, a life without creativity is not worth living. And that's the life that I wake up to every day. I'm no longer the person you thought you came here for. I'll never be able to combine human technology and Arcanum. And I'll never comprehend even the slightest part of it. I am useless to you. I don't expect someone made of tin to understand the human mind. But I beg of you, leave me alone.
The work of analyzing the masks of Manus Vindictae did not go well. A side effect occurs in the researchers, and it is getting worse. The isolation wards on the basement level are overwhelmed.
What a scene. Have you aborted the experiment?
Not yet. We have conducted the Arcanum imaging experiment on the masks, and found a component which also exists in the raindrops of the storm. But knowing what it is composed of does not help explain how it works. What we're looking for is the original ritual that the Manus cast on them.
Ha! You are trying to figure out one's career planning from one's physical examination report. I wonder why it is not working. Even if somehow you manage to find the original ritual, you still need a proper environment to test it. which is the outside world with a coming storm. That's why we can't tell if we're getting results. Even if we had the right ritual, proper permission from the Foundation to travel, and strong-minded volunteer subjects, experiments performed in the Ivory Tower won't succeed because...
An experiment about the storm can only be done in a storm. Glad to see your brain is not rusty yet. It only took you 3 sentences to draw the conclusion which took the seminar a week to reach. That proves you are capable of the project. The History Maintenance Team has forecast different critical points of this storm. Foundation investigators are on their way. If Manus Vindicte still plans to accelerate the storm, like what they have done in 1929, there will be a high possibility that their people will show up at the transformation point of history and society, also known as the critical point of time, the center of the storm. Your sister, Greta Hoffman, is also one of the investigators.
I have no interest in any Hoffmans other than myself. We have different perspectives.
It is okay. I am just here to inform you that if any of the investigators successfully send the information of the ritual back, the research about the immunity of the storm will be conducted immediately. Take your time and be mentally prepared. But once the storm alert is issued, we only have 24 hours to verify the feasibility of the ritual. I wish you will be fully prepared by then.
One thing is for sure now. The age of humans has come to an end.
Hey, you. Yes, you, my hurried child. You rushed through the street like a cyclone. Where are you going? A show. A show. So you came to Vienna for the love of stories, that's for sure. Then this is just the right place for you. A place where the floors are decorated with gold, where music sings along with the stories. Even a newcomer could be entranced here. Oh, listen to me. You must not be a newcomer, but a true connoisseur. Well, before you leave, may I ask a simple question? Which act in a show do you prefer? So greedy. It's a tough choice, isn't it? But you can't escape from making decisions. Do you know which act I love the most? Not Act 1, nor 3, or 5. But 6. Oh, Act 6, my dear. That's the best part. The part in which the king picks up his fallen head. The knight pulls out the sword in his chest. The bodies stand up, dust their clothes, and come to the front of the stage, bow to the audience, and receive their applause. Yes, it is. My child, that is precisely when the real show begins. I have a good script here. Let me put on my glasses. Let's start from Act 6. The princess, a nightingale decorated with diamonds, an opera singer taking center stage, steps into a building of gray and white diamond patterns. And the curtain falls forever. The smile on her face seems too serene. She is still dreaming. Her madness keeps them on alert. But in the court, she seems so meek and mentally steady, like a docked boat on calm waters. Nodding elegantly to every gentleman she meets, she makes the shackle on her neck look like a piece of dazzling jewelry. Next page. Oh. In a transparent room under an unyielding limelight, her dignity is stomped on, like a silk handkerchief thrown on the ground. They smash her crown, forcing her to pay for her madness. No, not anymore. Sleep, she said to me. Sleep. If that's what she said, then I don't need to wake up. That's when the star falls into an everlasting dream. The blinding light becoming a spotlight on the stage, the empty room carrying the best reverberations. She has never been so calm. Everything beautiful in her is there forever, frozen in time. Or found eternal peace. Her world has become the performance, a show that never ends. I'd say she's a great actress, isn't she? My dear, you are indeed a great connoisseur. Only one act of a play can't tell a good story by itself. Oh, forgive my ramblings. The golden curtain has risen. Fix your collar, darling, and keep moving forward.
Meine Damen und Herren, willkommen! On behalf of the General Medical Association of Vienna, I would like to thank you all for attending this demonstration conference. It is a great honor. As we can see, dear friends, the era of science has arrived. The era of man has arrived. Today, we will share the honor of witnessing the advancement of technology, its contributions to medical science, and even the world. Now, please allow me to introduce the patient again, Miss Isolde von Dietersdorf. This lady has selflessly volunteered for the experiment, and in return will receive a healthy mind in no time. She's been living a miserable life due to hysteria. How terrible it is for a young woman like her. As we all know, Mental illness is taking an increasing toll on our country. Even suicide has become more rampant. The tragedies are piling up, and our dear lady is in excruciating pain as we speak. Thanks to the development of medical science, we can again be rescued from the abyss of pain. As I said before, the electroshock therapy uses the most advanced technology available. The medical use of electricity dates back to the 18th century.
Isolde? The youngest daughter of the Dietersdorfs? Oh, no wonder she volunteered. The treatment should do wonders for her. You know there's something wrong with that family? I heard her mother stabbed old Dietersdorf in the temple with a brass needle and killed every maid in the room. That thing's even made it into the curio market. I heard not even the Lord's water could clean the blood off it.
The family seems to be cursed. So far, no one's ever lived past the age of 40. In fact, the girl had a sister who died very young, and now her brother. I read in the papers that he killed himself, right? Well, the artist did what an artist would do. He wrote a sad poem and then set fire to his paintings, together with himself.
You know what? My uncle works for the police. He showed me the autopsy report. The truth is, Theophil shot himself. He was killed by a bullet.
Gosh! Good thing he didn't have to suffer all that pain before he died. Poor boy, he was so talented and handsome. But the girl, oh, she's less fortunate. Fainted at her only brother's funeral, didn't even get to see him one last time. I hope the latest treatment will alleviate her suffering.
Lunatics. The whole family is a bunch of lunatics.
Manners, sir. This is Vienna where we call these poor people arcanists.
I sincerely hope that Isolde can put an end to her miserable nightmare. After all, she is one of the most talented opera singers in Vienna. Just like her mother.
You know what they say? Talent and hysteria go hand in hand. Think about it. They both come from the mind.
Quiet, please. The treatment will now begin. Are you ready, Miss Dietersdorf?
Yes. I'm ready. Please.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Calm down, my lady. Just hang in there, okay? The treatment will work. Perseverance is a virtue. I don't think the electroshock is causing the pain you seem to be experiencing. Don't let the imaginary fear get the better of you.
Yes.
Good. Now we'll begin stage 2. The voltage will be slightly increased. Please get ready, Miss Dietersdorf.
No!
Stage 3, an even higher voltage.
Enough!
Forgive the interruption, Dr. Schwartz, but I need you to stop the treatment immediately. I can't help but to question your methods, as well as the methods of the General Medical Association. Your electroshock therapy is a gross violation of humanitarian principles. Judging from what I just saw, it only brought the patient meaningless pain and didn't help her condition one bit. Unless, of course, you intend to use physical pain to distract the patient from her mental pain.
Even though this is a conference meant for conversation, you're being a little rude. The new electroshock therapy is not what you know from the last century. Now that man has tamed electricity, there's no doubt that the EST is the best choice for treatment. You shouldn't take it at face value, because it's not like the underlying principles are the same as that frog experiment, huh? My treatment is supported by systemic theories and reliable references, and it is approved and sponsored by the General Medical Association, which means it's reasonable and legitimate. Well, you are, correct me if I'm wrong, a social activist known for her little arcane tricks, Miss Cacanha. Or should I say, Miss Clara? As far as I know, you don't even have a medical degree. Besides your so-called art movement. This secession, is it? It confuses me, really. Anyway, in order to have a more professional conversation, I suggest we talk later. You know, after you get a medical license.
No, Dr. Schwartz. This conversation has nothing to do with my personal identity or experience. I'm only asking you as a citizen of Vienna and as a human being with empathy. How can you not see that she's suffering? Have you been thoroughly brainwashed by the supposed authority of medical science? Or have you two been blinded and deafened by hysteria?
Oh! You rude little... Please allow me to reiterate, the EST is an advanced and reliable treatment. Besides, Miss Dietersdorf has signed an agreement before we started. The experiment is conducted under mutual consent. Your objection is of no use, and it is even harmful to the patient's interests. But we always welcome debate. Since you question my methods, please be my guest and indulge us with your thoughts on her condition.
As I understand it, Mr. Sigmund Freud published his studies on hysteria in 1895. He believes that hysteria was a psychological disorder caused by problems in the nervous system. It was not a simple organ disease. His trauma theory explains that the patient's personal life experiences were the real cause of the disorder, affecting the patient in subtle ways. It makes much more sense to analyze the patient's traumas than to harm their body. As to whether his theory is advanced enough, you can read The Totem and Taboo, which he published last year.
What? Freud. Freud! The man who told people to marry their mothers and kill their fathers. The one who couldn't get a word in when his patients spewed insanity. It took him 17 years to become a professor, for God's sake. Miss Clara, I've tolerated your immature antics, and I always welcome advice and opinion, as long as they're rational and reasonable. It's just, how could you challenge me with such an amateur theory? You insult me as a gentleman, and you insult my reputation.
What? Dr. Schwartz, I did not mean to insult you.
Miss Dittersdorf, she's unconscious.
How?
Get her off the chair, now! Excuse me.
492716. 4A6F6.
Y'all want some fries, burgers, or apple pie?
Hi, I'm looking for ones.
Y'all want some fries, burgers, or apple pie? Aloha! Welcome to...
Move! Oh, move! Shoot, are you blind or did you hit me on purpose?
Hey, hello! Do you know how to control this thing? It always lives on my bed at night. I just sit back for a week.
Just remove your brain. Problem solved.
Going sense! How come I didn't think of that? Thank you for your advice. You are so sweet.
Oh, you're so welcome, pal. I'd wipe my eyes more often if I were you. Just do something to get that black snot off those lashes. The good news is, the persons in charge of this place are all dead. The bad news, the one in charge right now is not a person!
Hello, Researcher Medicine Pocket. Your meal allowance is being deducted to pay for door repair.
I don't care, Buckethead. Do your worst. A few pennies don't bother me.
You could have called me from your lab terminal. The technology department has equipped every researcher with the latest communication device, and I have the energy to communicate with everyone.
Then how am I supposed to know whether my report is lying in your trash or not? Oh, please, you know we gotta talk face to face to solve our issues when things get ugly. Congrats on the one and only achievement you got from the Manus mask. We're now fully aware of its side effects, and this great achievement is filling the halls with oil and insanity. You should thank the Hatted Cuckoo for her report. No one's turned into a crazy monster yet, or the Manus would be attacking the headquarters from Laplace right now. Damn it! What are you doing? Are you even listening to me?
My apologies. You said we needed to talk face to face. If I understand it correctly, this is your #1 request.
You always carry a face in your pocket? That's just great.
You are welcome. It is our duty to learn and meet the needs of every researcher. This will help them reach their full potential while respecting the nature of their being. I received some letters of complaint. They asked me to develop a better sense of humor. They said it would help me understand the researcher's sarcasm, so I am studying it. 75% of the complaints mentioned they did not want to see a face on my head. Some even used strong words like, "Never let me see that face of yours again." I am glad that you are one of the other 25%, Researcher Medicine Pocket.
You know what? I don't mind if you keep that face on, as long as you let me kick it around a bit.
Regarding your second request, I have read your report. I fully understand the side effects of the mask as well as the feasibility of the decryption.
Then what's the point? It's like trying to get the syrup formula out of a Coke can. Ugh! Again, we are all screwed without the original ritual from the Manus.
It is too early to conclude that the mask does not contain important clues. The attempts we are making are very necessary. Besides, the situation in Laplace is not as bad as you say. The side effects are completely under control. The subjects are only suffering from dehydration and mania. Fortunately, the Rehabilitation Center has extensive experience in dealing with manic patients, and some researchers, like yourself, are already manic without putting on the mask, so the side effects will not affect them much.
Yes! Ball pens! Ball pens love brains!
Extensive experience, huh?
That is right. I am glad you have noticed our efforts. We have prepared a large amount of polymer materials in case of minor vandalism by the patients.
Haha, amusing. So this is the logic of a machine, huh? Humans are as expendable in the lab as glass. You should be glad that your head is harder than my teeth, Oride.
Your opinion surprises me, Researcher Medicine Pocket. There is a big difference between the human body and glass. As for the original ritual, you are not the first researcher to make this suggestion. We are fully aware of its importance. We have dispatched investigators and members of the Field Agent Administration to investigate various regions. Here are the images they sent back.
Field... what?
Field Agent Administration. If you have not heard of the name before, most prefer to call them the History Guards, given their function.
Right. That team of cannon fodder. The thought of people being thrown around like garbage makes me feel lucky that I'm just a piece of glass. Looks like face-to-face conversation does solve problems. Finally, we're getting somewhere. Aside from the insane colleagues running amok. Let me guess. The blue dots are good news, huh?
Correct. They represent the safe areas immune to the storm.
North America. I should have gone there for a walk in the park. I don't deserve to suffer in this stupid gray prison.
I have to say, Researcher Medicine Pocket, even though I approved your request for a sports field, which you claimed was a humanitarian need, I think it is more of a canine need.
I suggest you install an indicator on your humor module so we know when to laugh. See? Like this blinking red dot. Is that Vienna?
Yes.
All right. Not privy to the information, huh? I know of your tricks. One day I will find the logical fallacies in your words, I swear. And this here... Yellow. Better than the worst, worse than the best. That's the agency. What's all the fuss about? Don't tell me there's a 500-meter-long blue crab.
No sightings of large marine organisms other than the Gorgon. This is where Timekeeper and her team are right now. By the way, it seems you can distinguish between colors precisely, so the canine elements in you are more of a personal choice than an innate trait.
I see your efforts on improving your sense of humor, I do, but that's enough now. Turn off the module, okay? Who the heck put these complaints in the box? I'm gonna kick their teeth out.
Back to business. Timekeeper and her team are in a bit of a situation. The details are classified, and I am not privy to them either.
Huh. Classified. I know what's going on. In this place, classified means they're in big trouble.
What are they? Hoop did not tell us about these things! Get away from me, you arcane fiends!
Marcus? Marcus?
I'm sorry, Madam Hoffman. I was reading the newspaper.
I know I told you to practice your arcane skills more, but you don't have to do it all the time. I just told you the oath to secrecy for this mission. Level 2 Investigator Marcus, repeat it to me.
Remember the field mission manual? Never disclose any information about the storm or the era to irrelevant people.
Never build unnecessary connections with the current era. Never disclose any real information about the headquarters to members of the branch. Never discuss confidential matters in unrelated settings. Never contact or interfere with the insignificant. Stay out of their lives, silently observe and respect their lives. And why is the stupid train never on time?
Did I really say that?
Yes, in a low voice, after the last random stop.
You have a talent for multitasking, I'll give you that. But the point is, as a rookie investigator, your focus should really be on the mission.
Yes, Madam Hoffman, I'm so sorry.
Laplace has analyzed the information from the field agent squad and suggested several critical points on where the storm may arrive. One of them is Vienna. The history guards have reported sightings of Manus leaders there. Considering they will probably do the same things they did in 1929, you know, escalate the international conflicts to accelerate the reverse, this mission is probably quite risky.
It's okay, Madam Hoffman. I am fully prepared. I've been waiting for my first field mission since I joined the Foundation. Thank you for approving my application, or I'd still be talking to rusty filing cabinets and diamond patterns on a wall.
No need to thank me, Investigator Marcus. Your application has been approved by headquarters, as your arcane skills will prove very useful on this mission. This time we will track down Manus Vindictae in Vienna, and gather intelligence on the rituals. The intelligence should help with the storm immunity research, making it the top priority of all other missions. That's why I said your arcane skill reading will be useful on this mission.
Yes, understood.
I know how lucky you must feel for returning to your era, after being isolated from the outside world for so long. I will take you to Romania and visit the orphanage where you used to live, if we still have time for that after the mission.
I'll do my best, Madam Hoffman. Whatever you need, as long as my arcane skill can do it. By the way, how's the timekeeper doing on Aegean Island?
Marcus, have you already forgotten what I just told you? This is a confidential matter.
But it's in the news. Unknown island appears on the Aegean Sea. Forces attacked by arcane creatures. Ownership over island causing conflicts between Bulgaria, Serbia, and Greece. Austro-Hungarian Empire and Russian Empire to establish a negotiating committee. Madam Hoffman, the increased turmoil could cause the storm to arrive earlier, right?
That is not our problem. The headquarters will send someone to intervene, since it is caused by the Arcanum. Now, just focus on our destination, Vienna. Time to get out. Grab your luggage.
Here it is, the national treasure of Austria. The creamy chocolate cake, the buttery ganache, and the delicious apricot jam. Created by the ingenious apprentice Franz Sacher in 1832, renowned throughout the world. The dessert of Vienna, Sachertorte. My first time seeing a real one. How should I cut it? If I cut straight, the cake will get mushy. If I cut sideways, I'll miss out on the apricot filling. What if I eat it in one bite? No, how unrefined. The director would scold me for that. I have to think carefully. There must be some other way. Remember all your training, Investigator Marcus. This is the most important moment of your life. Don't get too excited or you'll ruin it. Oh no.
What?
No, nothing. Thank you for deciding for me.
What's with the tears, Marcus?
Because the cake is way too sweet.
According to the plan, the head of the Vienna branch would pick us up and guide us through the necessary procedures of this era. But our train was 2 hours late. That being the case, our Mr. Carl should have been waiting for 2 hours, but so far there is no sign of any gentleman in the Foundation's uniform.
So Mr. Carl is also more than 2 hours late.
A clever deduction. Let us hope otherwise. I'll go check if he got here before us.
I bet that island is a secret base of the Dual Entente. That's why the Bulgarians are so anxious. They're worried about their exit on the Aegean Sea. A friend of mine is in the Navy. He saw a ship leaving the harbor loaded with gold. War is coming, friend.
No. How does that explain the arcane creatures over there? I'd say it's never been discovered before. Like the Celtic Otherworld. You know, the heavenly land beyond the sea in Bran's legend. The Arcanum has declined after the Enlightenment. It is an honor for all of us in this era to find such a paradise from the past. You're not fit to be human if you don't understand what that island means to us, my friend.
Secret base. Other world. Fascinating. I need to write this down.
Miss, could you show me your papers, please?
Ah, right. I'm sorry. My friend has it. Could you hold on a minute? I am an arcanist sent from the headquarters of the St. Pavlov Foundation. I have a letter of introduction from the head of the Vienna branch.
Arcanist? Then you come with us, miss. Hands up and be quiet. Bring over the golems! We have an unregistered arcanist!
Huh? Huh?
Marcus?
Sir, please listen to me.
Don't let her get away!